everyone, welcome to another video. My name is Miss Peggle, and I'm here with Paul again.
Hello again, everyone. Hope you're not too tired of me.
So I've come up we've come up with kind of like this fun idea where we do our top 10 favorite Mario games. So it could be a spin-off, could be from the main line. It could even be a Mario Kart game.
Could have put Smash Brothers on this list, but I figured that would be cheating, so
Ma-
we'll just get that out of the way right now.
I think Smash Bros would be cheating a little bit, considering it's not just Mario characters. Well, I think we could just get straight into it. We'll start off with my number 10, and then kind of what we did like last time with our Switch games. I'll do a 10, and then Paul does a 10, I do 9, Paul does 9, so forth, so forth. Well, we'll start off with my number 10, which is maybe a little bit of a shock, but this is going to be the new Super Mario Bros. U game, not the deluxe version on the Switch, but actually when it first came out on the Wii U. So this was actually the first game I played on the Wii U when I first got introduced. I literally have the Wii U box themed as the game. And this was kind of my childhood for a couple of years. I loved the cute little music. I loved how you're going through all these like of course through different worlds, but I feel like these ones were a lot different from the one I played back on the Wii. New Super Mario Bros. Wii felt a lot different. There was a lot of themes. Of course, the new item, the acorn, I think it's called acorn, or the squirrel suit, something like that. No, I thought it was just a very nice, peaceful game to play. It was nice. I wish they brought out a new one, because it's been a couple of years since they brought out a game kind of like Super Mario Bros. U, but they brought in Deluxe, which was okay.
Terrible.
It was
Source code was good. It's just that they hardly did anything to it, and they actually removed some of the content from the Wii U version, so it actually has less stuff, and yet it was priced at a higher value, so get way better of a deal if you get the Wii U version.
Well, we can move on to your number 10, so why don't you go ahead and give us your game.
Well, I would love to give my number 10, but I'm afraid Bowser would be quite furious at me for dominating Bowser's Fury. No, not Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. We're gonna cut the title in half. Only have Bowser's Fury, because I hate Super Mario 3D World with a passion. So that is a testament to how much Nintendo listened to fans like me. Yeah, Bowser's Fury is like everything Mario 3D World should have been to begin with. But I wonder if like Nintendo said, let's just take the beta of 3D World and put it into a whole new game. So what I really love about Bowser's Fury is that it's the first open world Mario game. It prioritizes a lot of exploration and unrestricted movement, which 3D World was notorious for. Letting you move in all directions, fully rotate the camera, complete the objectives out of order, ride on Plessy with some bangin' new music, and take on a form of Bowser that is the best we've seen of him yet, besides possibly some of the stuff in the Paper Mario games, and just go to town with entertaining the notion of this is what Mario games could be like if they improve upon this foundation. I finally got Peggle to play it too.
Yes, I played it and I finished it. Yay.
It's not a very hard game to finish, so if you're looking for a nice, quick and easy Mario game, like Bowser's Fury only requires 50 cap shines, and then you're done. So it doesn't take that long to beat, it doesn't take that long to complete either, because there's only 100 shines altogether. I'm not gonna say it's perfect, like, it definitely repeats itself a lot. It feels a little bit cheap how the islands, like, just throw in another objective and call it a day instead of the worlds being interconnected, but at the same time, I really like the aesthetic of it being at a lake. I like how everything is cat themed. Music is amazing. Not as good as the Galaxy games.
My number 9 is Mario Party Superstars.
That low, huh?
Yeah, I was really thinking hard on where the heck should I put this, but there were just other games that I enjoyed a lot more than Superstars, and I feel like Superstars has died a little bit, which sucks, because it lasted for a while. Like, we were all enjoying it so much at the start of my channel.
So we have to stop liking it. You just haven't wanted to stream it.
I haven't had the time.
I mean, I would still totally be down for a match in Mario Party Superstars anytime you want. You just haven't bothered asking. So it's your own fault that it's died. Hey, guys, now we need to start a chant that says, Pegel's a murderer. She killed Mario Party Superstars, and she's blaming Nintendo for it.
Oh no.
So since it's your game, would you like to tell the audience what Superstars was before you killed it?
Jesus Christ. Well, no, it was a good game when it first came out. I was excited for this for
It was a good
months.
game. You mean it's no longer a good
It's
game?
still good. It's okay, fine. It's still good. When it was announced, I remember still when it was first announced. I was like, what? Like it was new, like a new Mario game. I mean, it pretty much is like a new Mario game, but it's also kind of relating to the top 100 Mario Party game. I believe there was one called that or something like that.
Yup. Right.
So it's kind of the same in a way. I mean, you've got what, over 100 mini games from like one.
Exactly 100 mini games.
Is it exactly 100?
Yep.
Wow. So it pretty much is a rip-off of
They went
top
for-
100.
Well, it's not totally a rip-off. Some of the games, yes, but they actually did a much better job in ironing out which ones were truly classics, except for the control stick minigame ones from Mario Party 1. They really didn't learn their lesson, but yeah, most of the minigames are pretty solid, and I think it was much better of a game than Top 100, but I'll save my thoughts for when it comes up on my video, because I actually like the game, unlike her.
What is your number 9, Paul?
My number 9 is Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I probably could have put this higher, but it's... The thing about Kingdom Battle is it's a turn-based RPG, and as much as I love turn-based RPGs, it can also be kind of hard. Even for me, like, I love Fire Emblem, so you'd think it would be easy, but there are times where that game really makes you think really hard. And that's not something I usually like doing in a Mario game. But it's also a turn-based strategy RPG, so that's awesome enough to put it on the list to begin with. They got Grant Kirkhope, who was the mastermind behind Banjo-Kazooie and Donkey Kong 64, to do the music, and you can totally tell that it's him after like 2 seconds in. I like that the graphics are really good, despite that it wasn't made by Nintendo. It was actually made by Ubisoft. And
Yeah.
they impressed Nintendo so much with their models of Mario characters that Nintendo was like, well dang, we hardly need to do anything to help you guys out. And not only that, but apparently Grant Kirkhope did such an amazing job with his rendition of Peach's Castle in that game. That's what prompted Nintendo to have him do the Spiral Mountain remix in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So we can thank this game for Spiral Mountain sounding as good as it did.
Yay! Thanks, Kingdom Battle.
Then Chapter 3's boss is just something I never knew I wanted in a Mario game.
I haven't seen Chapters 3's boss yet, so I'm curious.
Oh boy, Grant Kirkhope just went all out on that Chapter 3 boss.
Oh no.
And there's even profanity in this game, so I bet Pega
Yes.
will like it for that
Yes.
reason alone.
Yes, there is profanity. that which is hilarious.
Profanity and toilet humor in a Mario game. Oh, don't worry, there will be even darker themes going forward.
Uh-oh. Well, we can go on to my number 8. This is gonna be a fun discussion because I know how much Paul dislikes this game. I mean, he was just talking about it back in his number 10. So, I combined Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. I'd put
Bowser's at a top 11 for her.
I'd put Bowser's Fury just above 3D World, so like a 7.5, something like that. But like I said, this was like Super Mario 3D World. I'll start with that. Originally, it was on the Wii U, and at the time, I was still playing Super Mario Bros. U. That's what I was playing a lot. I was also playing Super Smash Bros. U. There's another game I was playing that I can't remember what it's called. Oh no, I remember, it was Rayman Legends. Never mind. I was playing Rayman Legends. There were 3 games I was always playing, and for one day at Christmas, or was it Christmas or my birthday? It was one of those. It was one of those times. I pulled out. My dad actually got me 3D World, and I was like, what? Like, I was thinking a Mario game, kind of like in a 3D rendition. Like, this is gonna be cool, and it was cool.
Clearly, she hadn't played Super Mario 64 at that point.
Actually, I did. So I just couldn't remember. At the time, I was just too excited. No, but I think this game is really cool. It's really fun. I love all the different all the different levels. Some of them are just so like different to others. Like, to be honest, the title names for some of the levels are just, I think Nintendo was just pulling out ideas out of their butt. So there's that.
Poke Prod Peaks kind of loses its original meaning when you take out the gamepad stuff in the Switch version. The music's really cute. I love the items. Like this is when we were first introduced to the cat items, so that was pretty cool. I believe when we were first introduced to the cherry, which I actually found this out recently. That was actually accidentally made by Nintendo. They did not mean to make that, but they're like, okay, we'll just add this in, you know. So I found that out, which I thought was pretty interesting. That well, the double cherry isn't exactly an original creation, because in Super Paper Mario, you got what was called PAL pills. Granted, they didn't totally duplicate your character, they made you have an army of 8-bit versions of your character, so you could say that game was the precursor to the double cherry.
Ah.
Even to me, to have an obscure Paper Mario reference to, like, totally make everyone say, oh no, Nintendo wasn't actually original in that era at all.
Well, we can move on to your number 8. So, what's your number 8?
My number 8, you'll probably laugh at this, is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Now, I have also played the version on the Wii U, way before I even knew Deluxe would exist, and bought all the DLC, so I definitely felt a little bit ripped off. But I will admit that 8 Deluxe justified its existence by making the battle mode actually playable, because the one on the Wii U was absolute trash. And Nintendo just said, you know what, screw this, we're actually going to make a good battle mode. And not only did they do that, they even took one of the stages from Splatoon and just said, here you go, let's put it into a Mario game. And that's one of the best things that I like about Mario Kart 8, is it's fundamentally it has fundamentally some of the most amazing level design I've ever seen in a racing game. Then it takes it to the next level by saying, let's not just stick to just Mario. Let's bring in Splatoon characters. Let's have a Hyrule racetrack. Excite Bike even. Like, who even likes Excite Bike? And yet Nintendo managed to make such a niche NES game to something so much fun. And at the end of the day, that's what Mario Kart is. It's a lot of fun. It's also, frankly, one of the most gorgeous games Nintendo has ever made. Like, if people ever said the Wii U was underpowered, they clearly haven't played Mario Kart 8. And clearly Nintendo realized, like, dang, how can we perfect this? Because the Booster Course pack looks atrocious. They probably just gave up. They didn't even try to make it look as good as the base game. Although I will admit, the Booster Course pack has been getting better as it goes along. Like, I will say that Wave 2 was much better than Wave 1, except for Mario Circuit 3. That one stunk. They didn't even bother remixing the music. But I do think that even without the DLC, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is still a phenomenal value because it has everything that Mario Kart 8 offered, except the horn on the gamepad. 0 out of 10 because you can't honk your horn by tapping your screen. But other than that, it preserves the entire experience, and it even has some little accessibility features like auto accelerate and auto steer if you're like Peggle and keep driving off the edge.
Hey. Well then.
And no, I know that there are people out there that have Mario Kart games that they like better, and I can see their reasons. Like, they might say, well, Mario Kart DS has the mission mode. Fair. Mario Kart Wii has more dynamic tricks. Fair. But I also think Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has the best controls. And if you're playing a racing game, you need to feel in control of your vehicle. It has the best controls and the best graphics and the best level design. So it actually suits its purpose as a racing game, unlike Super Mario 3D World.
So we can move on to my number 7, which Paul already talked about, but I'll go into more depth. Well, sort of more depth, but I kind of already did on his list. But anyway,
Does that mean it's a 3DS game?
no, well, it's not a 3DS game. I never had a 3DS, so.
No, it's a joke because it has stereoscopic reading.
Oh,
It
okay.
gives more depth perception.
See, I can't understand 3DS jokes.
Okay, so what game on your list isn't a 3DS game, Michael?
All of them. my 7 is Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. So, as I said, that's already been on Paul's list. But
Respectable position. Hey, that's higher than how I rank.
yeah,
So
I think
good
it's
for you.
I think it's in a pretty good position. Because the other games that I have above Kingdom Battle are kind of nostalgic, more nostalgic in my opinion, but also I do like this game quite a lot, actually. I remembered, like, back when I was first hearing about this game, I'm like, I'm never gonna touch this game. Like, I don't like turn-based RPG games. I don't like stuff with the rabbits. No.
And then I just whispered into her ear, and Kirkhope did the music, and that convinced her.
I will admit, Grant Kirkhope did he did push me a little bit, because I believe I did play Banjo and Kazooie before hearing about this game, and I was like, this music's so cute. So then I was like, what? Plus there was Mario, and it was made technically not by Nintendo, so I was like, oh, I'll see what Ubisoft.
Mario wasn't. Don't tell Mario wasn't made by Nintendo either, but I don't see you putting that game on the list.
But yeah, so I decided, I'll give this game a chance, and seriously, I must be missing out on, like, the enjoyment of some of these games, because, wow, Kingdom Battle is so much fun. I love, like I said, love the music, the graphics, the story, the battles, like, oh my gosh. And just the comedy in it is just amazing.
She loves the profanity because she's an Aussie.
Yeah, I have an excuse. But I will admit, I'm not the biggest fan of turn-based strategy RPG battles. So I'm not the greatest at it. I am absolutely atrocious at it. So every time I have to do a battle, I'm just like, Because I hate it so much. I normally try and like not plan out too much. Like I try and stick with the same characters. I always have the same like plan that I normally have, but lately, every time I stream a Mario plus Rabbids game, I always get in trouble for for the way I pick things. So, but no, this game is good. One thing I don't like about it is that I feel like the worlds themselves are dragged out a bit too much with levels. There's just like I don't know if you see it, but I just feel like it's just too long, the worlds.
I do feel like some of the puzzles could get a little bit annoying.
Yeah, some of the puzzles are so annoying to unlock, like a door or something, because oh my gosh, some of them I have to Google because I seriously cannot figure it out.
Some of them I had to Google.
Yeah,
because
so
I couldn't figure them out. Well, then again, no, I don't. No, I don't have an excuse because I play Zelda games, and Zelda games are known for their puzzles. So I play turn-based strategy games and puzzle games, and I still have trouble with Kingdom Battle. So that should tell you how hard it can be.
So yeah, give us your number 7, please.
My number 7, which in retrospect seems criminally low, but I will explain my reasons later. It is the original Super Mario Galaxy. My gosh, Super Mario Galaxy came at such a wonderful time because the Wii had just come out. People were wondering, how could you pull off Mario game with motion controls? And somehow, Galaxy made all of us feel stupid at how well it integrated the Wii remote and make it feel like a natural part of the experience without making it feel like a gimmick. Twilight Princess, why didn't you learn from that? So its solution was shake the Wii remote to make Mario spin, pointed at the screen to grab items from the distance, like that has to be one of the coolest uses of motion controls ever. We'll even have some galaxies where the Wii remote will serve as the way to move Mario through the galaxy. Like the ball rolling galaxies were cool, the bubble pushing ones were cool. I know Peggle hated that one, but that's just because she's not good. And I overall think that Super Mario Galaxy is just a really tightly designed game. It has ingenious level designs that really mess around with the concept of gravity way before Mario Kart 8 came along. It was the first Mario game to have a fully orchestral soundtrack, and it's still one of the most beautiful Mario soundtracks I've ever heard. Gusty Garden Galaxy, in particular, might even be my favorite video game piece that I've heard to date. On top of all of that, it introduced Rosalina, who actually has a backstory. How often do you see that in a Mario game? Apparently the director had to do it in secret so that Shigeru Miyamoto wouldn't find out. So it got put in like a very constrained way, which led to Super Mario Galaxy 2 not having a story at all, because after Miyamoto found out, it was basically Bowser's Fury before Bowser's Fury, and that's probably why Nintendo never has re-released Mario Galaxy 2. And Super Mario Galaxy 2 had a 2-player mode.
Yeah!
I don't think people thought was possible in a Mario game until then. It wasn't a very good 2-player mode, and Mario Galaxy 2 made it so much better, but at least was a good step forward.
So, we can go to our number 6s now, which will, of course, start with mine. I'm just gonna come out and say now this is probably gonna be a tricky one to find gameplay of to put on the video because it's not on the Switch. This is Mario Kart Wii.
Yeah, that'll be pretty darn difficult because I don't think I've never actually reviewed Mario Kart Wii on my YouTube channel, so even I don't have footage for it.
I'll figure it out. I'll find something. But no, this was the second Mario Kart game that I ever played. So I did play it on the Wii as a kid, and it's still like one of my favorite Mario Kart games. I've played this through most of my childhood. This game was kind of this game and New Super Mario Bros. Wii were the two games that were the reason I was always late to school because I could not get enough of these games. I'd still be there, like, probably at just, like, 9:30, almost 10 o'clock, still going. I was like, I need to do this. So I love this, I love Mario Kart Wii, I love the Grand Prix. Time trials, I never really played the time trials, like, single player mode. I was never really interested in that. The battle mode was, it was okay. I wasn't the craziest fan of the battle mode. I was always into just focusing on getting those trophies and stars. And the amount of characters you could play as, sorry. Geez, there were so many. Some of them I never heard of. Like when I first was playing those, I didn't really know who like Donkey Kong was.
You can even play as Funky Kong, and
Yeah.
he's not even a Mario character.
I had no idea who Funky Kong was. I had no idea who Diddy Kong was. Of course, I knew who DK was because I played Mario Kart 64, but that was pretty much it. I never heard of the other two. I played this before I played Galaxy, so when I saw Rosalina, I'm like, who the heck are you? So there was a lot of I was like 7 or 8, so I was like, I have no idea who these guys are, but they look so cool. I'm gonna play as them. But yeah, all the different maps, the music. I mean, Mario Kart music has always been meh for me. But as a kid, you'd be listening to it and going, yeah, this music's amazing, I love it. But nowadays, when I listen to it, I'm like, eh. But yeah, I never really enjoyed tilting the Wii remote when I was playing it. I just found it really annoying, because especially when you're a kid and you're not the best at driving on that game, it's just so annoying because you're trying to turn and you muck up too much and you're trying to turn back and it's like, you're in a state of panic.
Just plug in a GameCube controller?
I didn't have a GameCube, so...
Oh, this poor girl. I feel so sorry for her childhood.
But I will admit, I really did love the custom-made steering wheel that you could use for the Wii remote, because it's actually a lot easier. It helps a lot for to try and learn how to turn with the Wii remote. And I still have one of those nowadays. So.
Not that it actually does anything. It's literally just a piece of plastics that you can pretend you're playing with a wheel. It doesn't like catch the Wii remote at all. It's still really cool nonetheless.
Yeah.
If it makes kids feel like they're really drivers, then whatever. You know, Nintendo could sell anything with the Wii name on it back then.
We can go on to your number 6 now, which I can't wait to hear this one, because it's a game that I've been really wanting to play for years. So, go on.
So, my number 6, which I got on day 1, let me remind you, is Super Mario Galaxy 2. Because Nintendo was like, we have so many cool ideas that we can't even fit them all on one disc. So let's just make a second game that has all of these ideas, except without a good story, without a good overworld. Because you kind of just move along on a yellow line until you find the galaxy you want, and it's super boring. But to make up for it, once you're actually in the galaxies, it's basically an expansion pack. Super Mario Galaxy 1, like the graphics and the controls are basically the same. It has some new power-ups, and these new power-ups, my goodness, why haven't they reappeared more? Cloud Flower lets you create new platforms in the air. Rock Flower, or the Rock Mushroom, turns Mario into Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yep.
Then there's Yoshi. You know, Yoshi is a game changer because not only can you, like, point his tongue with the Wii remote, like, that's such a genius use of it right there. He can also eat different fruits to give him different properties. Like, if he eats a chili pepper, it makes him run really fast, and he even run up walls and across water. And Super Mario Galaxy 2 also is just a more refined experience. Like, the anti-gravity mechanics don't give you as much of a headache. The side-scrolling areas feel a little bit more fair. There's a lot more nostalgia in it. Like, there's a lot more remixes of classic tunes. some of the stuff in the post-game would make Peggle scream in joy if I told her some of the surprises they pull.
Oh.
It actually has a post-game.
Ooh.
And it still has an orchestral soundtrack, and the reward for 100% completion is one of the most lethargic feelings I have ever experienced in a video game. Like, my hands were trembling in joy, although part of that was because you have to shake the Wii remote so much to make Mario spin, so maybe they were trembling as a result of the gameplay. But yeah, Mario Galaxy 1, but better, but with a worse story, a worse navigation.
Yeah.
But otherwise better in, like, literally every way you can imagine. And pretty much all of the galaxies are brand new, too, so Nintendo hardly had any repeats. They're just like, yeah, so we had a desert galaxy in the first game. We're not gonna reuse that. We're gonna make a desert level that has a slide, and we're gonna make it fun. They just went overboard with their creativity, and the two-player mode is actually functional this time.
But yes, my number 5, which Paul has already talked about, is actually Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
You actually rated that higher than me.
I did. So yes, like I said, this was the third Mario Kart 8. This was the third Mario Kart game that I played. So this was the first game I got on the Switch. And I was just like, because I knew it existed, and I was just like, oh, I'd love to play this so badly. And then I got a crazy surprise that during COVID I got a Switch out of nowhere, and I got Deluxe, and I was like, heck yeah, I'm driving everywhere. Whee!
Now, did you actually play Mario Kart 8 before you played this one?
I did not. So this was I knew it was a redone because of the word deluxe. I'm like, okay, obviously, I knew there was an 8 even before that. I knew there was an 8, but yeah, never got to play it on the Wii U because I don't know why I didn't get to. I blame my father.
So this was all just a brand new experience to you then?
Pretty much.
So cool.
I got from the I left the Wii, Mario Kart Wii, and then got straight to Deluxe.
Wow, that is so amazing that you're just like, wow, it comes with the Triforce Cup right out of the gate, and people like me are like, we paid for Triforce.
But no, I was just amazed by the graphics. I was like, what? Like, what is this? This is amazing! The graphics are just...
And then even more amazed that that's how they looked on the Wii U.
Yeah, pretty much. They did look like on the Wii U, but, you know, I didn't know about that.
The Wii U is way better than people give it credit for, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. No, I adore the graphics. As always, music was meh, but they actually amped it up just a tiny bit in Deluxe, so... And, obviously, 8, I'm assuming. But no, it was really good. I'm trying to think. Okay, for me, I don't like the battle. I don't like the battle stuff. I barely play it. I'm not the biggest fan of battle. The only one I really like is the I forgot what it's called. Like the cops and robbers one.
Renegade Roundup. Yeah, that was amazing.
Like that was so good. Like I enjoy that one so much. Just the others, like bring backs of Balloon Battle, Coin Runners.
You have Balloon Battle and Coin Runners.
They're just so boring. So
you say that. So you're not saying that they don't exist. It's that you want them to be like they were in the older games.
I guess they were really fun in the old games. So I don't know, but I guess.
You preferred in Mario Kart 64 where you turned into a bomb after you died?
Yeah.
That was legendary.
I'm trying to remember the other battles that were in there.
Didn't you say when we were talking about it on my list that you were gonna go over your gripes with the Booster Course Pack?
I will admit it! No, I can't remember any of the other battles for some reason. Why don't I remember?
Coin Runners, Shine Thief, Balloon Battle, and Renegade Round.
That's right, Shine Thief. The Bob-omb
The
one, that's
Bob-omb,
right.
yes.
Yeah, the Bob-omb one is just meh. I like Shine Thief. Shine Thief was pretty cool. But no, Renegade Roundup was just amazing. I do wish they kind of brought in a few more battles, but I don't know. I never really.
It's a heck of a lot better than what it was on the Wii U, at least.
Yeah.
On the Wii U, they just took regular race courses and just said go to town.
Yeah. Yeah. Deluxe was also the first time I actually started working hard on my character, because back in the Wii, I never focused on character slots and all that. I was just like, I choose this character with this car because it looks cool. But in Deluxe, I really focused on like my stats and how fast I'm gonna go, how good is my turning, how light is my character. Like, you'd think I'd pick Bowser, but no, he's too heavy. I'm on little dry bones driving around really fast.
Dry Bones was actually an addition to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe because he wasn't in the original Mario Kart 8, and people lost their minds for some reason. I never got the hype over Dry Bones. My Bowser was in Mario Kart 8 though, so why not Dry Bone?
Yeah, apparently, MatPat actually mathed it out that Dry Bowser on like a specific car with a specific glider with a specific set of wheels and coins is actually the fastest, and I'm just sitting here going, how is Dry Bowser so fast? He's so heavy. I don't know.
Probably because he has all that flesh burned off of him, so he's only bones.
Oh, maybe that's it. But yes, the booster course pass. When I first heard about when I was watching the direct and that was announced, I was at first it was like, oh, now we're gonna talk about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I'm like, yes, 9, and then they're like, here's a DLC, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. I can put up with that. Like, I love the idea of old Mario Kart games being redone into Deluxe. I thought that was a fantastic idea. But look, they're still fun to play on. The graphics are really bad. I definitely think they have really rushed this out. I seriously think so. They've rushed this so much just to make people happy. I was so excited when I heard Coconut Mall was coming. I was like, oh my gosh, because it's actually my second favorite map in all of Mario Kart.
And they ruined it.
They ruined it so bad, and I was like, oh, this is horrible. And they try to fix it by making the little Shy Guys moving cars. That's not good enough.
Again, they moved day one and they had Mii's in the original.
But yeah, we can go on to your number 5, so go ahead.
My number 5 is the OG Paper Mario for the Nintendo 64. Mario and RPGs technically existed before Paper Mario on Super Mario RPG, but this was the first that I had heard of it. When I first played this on my Nintendo 64, I was like, dang, Mario can actually get creative. Like, he's not just a platformer anymore. He can, like, actually go on adventures. There's dialogue. He has items. Coins actually have a monetary value. It was a revolution when I first played it. For a Nintendo 64 game, it has aged spectacularly. Like, it still looks really good. Probably because they chose to make it a paper aesthetic. And it just has a really easy to understand battle system that even dweebs like Peggle can, like, easily pick up and play it. And you can play as Peach.
Yes.
Bowser has a personality.
He does.
And you can cook.
Oh wow.
And it's just a Mario game that is actually cool. It doesn't feel so dorky and forced. Like, who honestly would give a darn about a fat plumber trying to rescue a human princess that was kidnapped by a turtle that breathes fire? But in Paper Mario, you're on a quest to save the world, and you are cool while doing it.
Yes.
And Mario actually loses in a fight against Bowser. That's another cool thing. It's like, how many times are Mario games willing to acknowledge that Bowser actually did good for once? And they even made a spirit battle out of it in Smash because they loved that idea so much.
Well, I guess we can move on to number 4. Now, fun
Oh,
fact.
good. We're getting into the top 5.
Yeah. Yes. All right. So number 4 was actually this game was actually the first game I ever played. So I was maybe 4-5 years old that I first touched this game. And that is Super Mario 64.
Not the DS version.
No, not the DS version, the actual console version. I did play the DS version like when it came out, but
Super Yoshi 64 DS.
Super Yoshi. It pretty much was. But Super Mario 64, like I said, was the first game I ever played as a child. This game was so much fun as a kid. Like I loved playing as Mario, running around all over Peach's Peach's area in the castle, and then jumping through paintings, going through
Still has a cool ripple effect to this day.
yeah, the music's really nice, like so original. Diodide Docks is literally my favorite piece of music in a Mario game. I haven't heard music to top that off yet, so
Not even the Gusty Garden Galaxy?
not even that. I still love Diodide Docks. But I love this game. I loved the levels that I did. The only problem was I was a kid at this time. My dumb brain thought, "Oh, I fought Bowser. I won." No, I didn't win. There were way more levels that I never knew. I didn't know what a key did. Well, I did know kind of what a key did. I went through the door and I was stuck on this one level. I was just like, well, guess I can't play this anymore because I don't know how to get through this level. So, there's that. I love I love the glitch with the stairs. How you jump back as Mario to do the glitch with the stairs. Like that's so much fun.
You can no longer do in 3D All-Stars.
No, which everyone's so mad about. They're like, "Ah, you."
Well, the thing about 3D All-Stars is the version that Nintendo chose to put in the collection was called the Super Mario 64 Shindao Edition, which was a version that came out in Japan a year after the original game because the American version had changes that the Japanese version didn't have time to implement. So the Japanese developers essentially made a patch, but because Nintendo 64 games couldn't get patches, they had to basically re-release it again. So a few of the additions were you could make Mario's face multiply on the face moving screen, his voice samples were a little bit higher, camera controls were inverted, and the backwards long jump was fixed.
Yes.
And they added Rumble. So this is the first time in legal American and I guess Australian history where you actually get Rumble in a Mario 64 game.
Yeah. Yes. But
You
yeah.
never knew you needed that until now.
Yeah. But yeah, the graphics for 64 as well were like for Mario 64 was actually pretty good for its time. Like we all know, like I find it hilarious that these graphics were so good, and then they bring out like the other Mario games like Mario Party and all that, and it's like graphics, please.
Super Mario 64 actually does age pretty well compared to other Nintendo 64 games because they used a very bright color palette. And like the opening title screen where you can just mess around with Mario's face. Such a genius idea, they made it into a minigame in Mario Party.
They did.
My gosh, what were they smoking when they came up with that? Because it's so cool. That's, like, to this day, that's still such a mind-blowing usage of 3D.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, the reason why this game is so high is because the first game I ever played, it's very nostalgic to me. Obviously I can't give out more of a full-on opinion about this game because I haven't never finished it because I was a child. I had no idea what I was doing. I wasn't even that. I was a toddler. I had no idea what I was doing. So yes, I think we'll move on to your number 4. So this is gonna be an interesting discussion. So go ahead.
So my number 4 is Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. As if Kingdom Battle wasn't already good enough, Sparks of Hope comes along and is just like, move aside, rookie. This is how you handle turn-based RPGs. And one of the biggest things they did is they removed the turn-based element of it and made it more of a movement-based RPG, where you can, like, you have a limited parameter of how far you can move. You can move around freely within that circle. Then you can jump off of your teammates, which technically you could do in the original game, but you would have to choose where you jump, whereas now you can, like, choose on the fly. And you're, like, literally flying and controlling Beepo in the air. And the music is, like, so much better. They even got in 2 other composers, Yoko Shimomura and Gareth Coker. Both of them have amazing pedigrees. Gareth alone, he did the Ori games and some of the Minecraft music. Not the original Minecraft music, but some of the mini games. And I just think Sparks of Hope is just such a wonderful improvement in almost every way over the original. There is one thing where it very, very strongly lacks, and that's the presentation. The graphics are hideous in this game. They feel like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pack graphics. There's not as much going on in the environment. Like, you know, when Peggle was talking about Kingdom Battle, she was talking about all these little things going on. That's nowhere to be found in this. It feels like all the texture works are like the bare minimum, and that this would be passable on the Nintendo 64. It's just, how did they fall so far when Kingdom Battle was like a graphical showcase for what Ubisoft was capable of doing with a Mario game?
Yes.
That music, like, my gosh, that music is heavenly.
Yes.
I don't think there's a single bad song in that game. Like, that's how good it is.
Yeah, I think we can move on now to, we're getting into the top 3s now.
Ooh, because 3 is so much better than 4.
This was a game I actually played just very, very recently, and I had to add it into the list, and that is Super Mario Odyssey.
You actually put it in the list. I give her credit for that.
Because when I did my first list, it wasn't in there, and Paul was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I haven't played it," and he's like, "Oh, you poor thing." And I was like, "Fine." You know what it was? You said that, and I went and bought it. I bought it, and I played it just for that.
You bought it just to spite me?
Yeah, I bought it just to spite you. I was like, I'll play this, and I'll put it on my list if it's good. And wow, I have to eat my own foot for that. It's actually really good. I can't believe I missed out on this game. I have a friend that does have it. And he showed me like a smidgen of some gameplay, but I was like, okay, cool. Just it feels like Galaxy, but it seems just meh on that. But just it's actually really, really good. The other time I heard about it was through MatPat's like theories about the theory of the moon is so close to Mario's Earth that it's gonna get destroyed.
Oh, doing a Majora's Mask, are we?
Yeah, he was literally doing a Majora's Mask. It was hilarious. But no, this game is amazing. Like, the opening for the game is just fantastic. It's like Mario's literally getting his booty knocked out of the ship and just landing. Just, how did you survive? I literally, through the whole game, I was like, how did you survive that fall?
I mean, how did Mario survive the fall in Paper Mario when that happened 16 years prior?
Yeah, I said that as well, I think.
He's made out of paper.
Exactly. Just the idea, because I think with Bowser, whenever he's kidnapped Peach, he never gives an explicit reason. Like, it'll either be like, I'm taking over the kingdom, or I'm gonna take over the galaxy, or something like that. This time he was like, I just want to marry her.
He even has like a plan for how he wants
He
to go.
He has a plan. It's just hilarious. And just all the kingdoms. Like, we always focused on Mushroom Kingdom's like place. This time we actually went to other kingdoms around the world, and I was just like, wow, this is so cool.
The graphics even changed.
Graphics were amazing. Collecting moons rather than stars, like that was a pretty cool change. Like, I thought that was cool. I thought that was really, really cool. Dressing up Mario, just listening to the music, and especially in
seeing Mario's nipples.
I haven't worn that outfit yet. I've bought it, but I can't bring myself to wear it.
It wasn't the first time Mario wore boxers, though. That honor goes to Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. So I think that's what the costume was a reference to. Actually dragged Mario out of the shower in the opening of that game.
Yes, we can move on to your number 3, which I said earlier in this video, but now you can go on about your discussions, so go ahead.
My number 3 would be Mario Party Superstars. I know Peggle put it much, much lower, but I think because from her perspective, she's constantly streaming. When she plays it, it's harder for her to appreciate it as it is, as opposed to, oh, this is a way that I can get viewers. So there's probably that element of it that probably makes it rate lower. For me personally, Mario Party Superstars was really incredible because it took all of the best, and sometimes the worst, like, why did they bring back Chance Time, of the N64 Mario Party boards, and spiced them up with modern touches, such as speeding up the computer players' turns, such as letting you practice the minigames without going into a separate screen, such as being able to save game mid-turn, adding more turns if you're having too much fun. It's basically a love letter to how Mario Party started, while at the same time feeling like a next step forward, while really not really having a whole lot new. Really, pretty much, like, literally every single board and every single minigame from a prior Mario Party game. But yeah, that's why I love it so much. It's because it's the collection of amazing moments that both made for amazing moments with friends and also made me wonder if I'd still have those friends after we were done.
Yes.
It's just, overall, it's a very well-polished, well-rounded game. It's the kind of game that can make you feel so many emotions all at once. Even when you're mad at the game, you're loving it for it. And not too many games have that ability to do that. Like, just take Chance Time alone. It is such a stupid idea of, like, having a block decide if you're gonna give away all of your stars to a computer opponent through no fault of your own. Then you're like, this is, like, actually brilliant, because it means that I can screw over my friends. Then you also realize that you're just as easily liable to be screwed over because the game has so many elements of unfairness. Everyone gets the unfairness. That's what's great about Mario Party, is it balances out skill and luck in such a wonderful way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they brought back Peach's birthday cake. Like, how many people would have remembered that that even existed without Superstars? I did not forget about Peach's birthday cake. I love Peach's birthday cake.
You're giving it the love it deserves. Well, I guess we can move on to our number 2s. So, my number 2 is Super Mario... Super Mario Galaxy.
Super Mario burp. What was that?
Super Mario Galaxy.
We should clip that and, like, put it as a Peggle misclip of Super Mario.
You did the dun 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 at just the horrible times. Uh,
So you put Super Mario Galaxy even higher than I did. So
yeah.
what makes you love it so much?
um, so this was one of the first games I ever played on the Wii.
Oh, nostalgia talking. And she
Yeah.
says she doesn't wear glasses, guys.
I don't. I really don't.
Yet you're wearing nostalgia glasses. And again, Mario Party Superstars was a giant trip to nostalgia too, so depends on your definition.
You have no excuse. um, so yeah, Super Mario Galaxy, like I said, one of the first games I played on the Wii. I just love it for how it is, and I wouldn't change it for anything. I didn't focus too much on the hungry loomers, the pranksters. I was all about, back then, I was just like, I'ma focus on the story, and that's it. I love.
And then you cried during Rosalina's story, didn't you?
I don't think I cried, but I was just like, huh. You poor thing. I was not nice. um.
Okay, so enough of me challenging you. What do you like about Super Mario Galaxy?
I mean, the idea. This was the first time Lumas and Rosalina were first introduced. Like, we'd never heard of these characters, so this was the first time, and I loved that. I think we were definitely due for a new princess.
Yeah,
and,
Peach was still in the game anyway.
Ugh, yeah, I know. But no, the graphics for this game are actually really good for a Wii standard game, and I think they improved it for 3D All Stars, but not by much. They didn't do
Not by
too much.
much, no.
No.
They basically just up-resed it to look like the IQ version, but since no one knows what the IQ is, they think, oh, Nintendo actually did work.
Yeah.
Because the IQ version was in HD. You guys didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. The music is one of the best things in the game. Like, the orchestra music. Like, oh, I cannot get enough of the music. Like, it's just so amazing.
You like Dire Dire Doc better.
Yeah. Soz.
No, I'm just kidding. You have your opinion. You can have your opinion as long as you know that you're wrong.
But yeah, the battles in those are really fun. Some of them are very unnecessary, but there's that.
There's something you would change.
Probably. I'd probably change some of the battles because some of them are just unnecessary.
Music in the battles was atrocious. Except for the Bowser one. The Bowser ones were good, but all of the other boss battle musics were just like, this is the kind of stuff we wanted to get away from with having an orchestra at Nintendo.
And yeah, like Paul said, Rosalina's story is just amazing. Obviously I'm not going to spoil what's in the story, but it's just, it's amazing. Never would I imagine that a Mario game would pull off a story like Rosalina's. And yeah, we can go into your number 2.
So, my number 2, you guys already heard that. Super Mario 2 is one of those games that was taken for granted at the time of its release because at the time, the GameCube was the second least successful Nintendo console. So people were like, ew, the GameCube, what the heck? But now everyone is like, oh my gosh, the GameCube was actually cool. And now everyone is willing to pay like hundreds of dollars for the games because they didn't get into it when it was popular. And it's like, Nintendo could have used you back then, you idiots. Why didn't you support them when they needed it? So, Paper Mario 2 was one of those games where not that many people played it. Now the people that haven't played it don't realize what they're missing out on because they play games like Origami King and they say, oh my gosh, this is amazing! I didn't know a Mario game could do that. And then those of us who were there in the heyday are like, clearly haven't played Paper Mario 2. So, it's very hard for me to keep my thoughts concise on the game because it is just so overflowing with awesomeness. So I will start out with the negatives so that you don't think I'm an obsessive fanboy. I think the backtracking is really annoying. There's one level where you have to go to this place and then something bad happens, you have to go back to fix it, and then you have to go all the way back to where you were to do what you were meant to do in the first place. And there's no option to make Mario move faster during... Oh wait, yes, actually there is. I forgot about that. There is. it's just extremely inconvenient because there's a lot of enemies along the way, and you're like really weak during that time. So the game it has not that many save blocks. There's a lot of pointless back and forth near the end of the game, and the music is terrible. But apart from that, okay, I know that sounded like a lot of negatives. But honestly, this game is Mario with a personality and good gameplay. Mix them together, really go to town with the paper elements, and just make it a massive, incredible, and sometimes very adult-oriented game. Like, Mario can use his paper form to turn into different abilities, like a paper airplane, to fly across gaps. The battle mechanics are basically Paper Mario 1, but better. Now he actually has an audience watching him, and you can actually do so much with that audience that it's kind of mind-blowing. Like, if the audience is cheering for you, you have to quickly check to see if the audience is happy or sad, and you have the option to just jump off of the stage and just whack your hammer at someone in the audience to make them run away literally screaming like a girl. The thing is, sometimes they can toss you items. You have to see if they're actually, like, trying to hurt you or not. Sometimes, like, an attendant will run backstage and, like, ruin the battle by changing the camera angle, or, like, the decorations in the background will fall against you, and it just really leans heavily on the idea of this being a Mario story.
Well, we can move on to my number one, which
We're leaving my number one for last because mine's
Yep.
better than your number
the what?
one.
Hang on, I'm we're taking turns here. No, okay, we'll go on to my number one, which I think people will be a little bit surprised, like, what the heck? Why would you put this at number one? That is Mario Kart 64. Yes, a Mario Kart game.
Yeah, she did it.
I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah. And I'm probably gonna cue the eye rolls and the gasps at what is wrong with me. No, seriously. Okay, first off, yes, nostalgia reasons, of course. Okay, I'm always gonna have nostalgia reasons for an old game if I love it that much. This was one of the first games I also played on the N64, but growing up with it was just, it was my introduction to Mario and other characters. This is the first time I actually met Luigi as well.
Really?
Yeah, this was the first time I met Luigi, Wario, DK, who else is in that? I don't think there's anyone else really. There's Toad, I already knew who that was. There's Mario,
Luigi,
Peach.
Toad, Donkey Kong, Yoshi, Wario, and Bowser.
Yoshi as well. That was the first time I met Yoshi as well. So, so you could. This game was literally my introduction to a lot of characters I probably should have known about, but I didn't. So I was always playing as Bowser.
Well.
Yeah, I was always playing as Bowser, just driving around, like just meeting. This was my introduction to Mario Kart, and I love it for that. Legit, this was the first Mario Kart game I ever
better than
played.
Mario Kart 8.
Did you read what Mario Kart 8 was on? It was at number 5. What do you think?
Yeah, but maybe you're only putting it above for nostalgic reasons.
No.
But in actuality, you like put the two of them together and are like, dang, the carts are so slippery in this old one.
No, it's just the way it is. Like, I like, the graphics back then were actually not that bad. I will say. The graphics were not that bad. The
Flat crowds were not that bad.
the music was great. Some of the items that were in that was pretty cool. Just all,
Including the blue shell. That was the first game where the blue shell was introduced.
yep, the blue shell, which I was looking at it, I'm like, this is a weird looking shell. What is this? And just all the different like maps. So like with Bowser's Castle, Rainbow Road, Yoshi Valley, Warrior Stadium, all those sorts. Like, they were just so fun to drive on. And Rainbow Road in Mario Kart 64 is still my favorite kart. I don't even like the new version. I hate it. I hate the new version of N64 Rainbow Road. They changed it up completely. I loved the old version of it. I didn't care how long it was. It was just a joy to drive around looking at all the constellations and just just all that sort of stuff was just so much fun, and I didn't care what anyone said. It was so much fun growing up with it and playing it with my friends, my family. Like, it was a joy in my life. Well, we can go on to our final one, which is Paul's number one. So, go ahead.
My number one is Super Mario Odyssey, which I don't understand why Peggle has this so low. But then again, we're totally different people who were born at very different times. So, I don't know, for her, maybe because she played it late, she didn't experience the wow factor of going from Super Mario 3D World to this. My gosh, removing the timer alone was like one of the best things that Mario has ever done. What I love about Super Mario Odyssey is it's a refinement of Banjo-Kazooie. Basically, it takes the open-ended structure of Banjo-Kazooie and turns it into a Mario game. It also has so much charm to it, and a lot of the charm is totally optional. So if you don't like certain parts of it, you don't have to engage with it. You don't even have to buy a costume if you don't want to. You can just go through the whole game wearing Mario's same old boring stuff. Peggle forgot to mention much about the controls or Cappy, so I shall elaborate on that. I think this is the best Mario has ever controlled, possibly besides Paper Mario 2, but then again, it's not a platformer as much, so different genres, but this is the best Mario has ever controlled in a 3D core Mario platformer. Just feels like movesets are an extension of your brain. Like, you don't even have to think about how to move him, and you don't feel like you're forcing the camera like you are in Super Mario 64. I also really like how Cappy lets you not only mount as an additional platformer, possibly as a callback to the Cloud Flower in Super Mario Galaxy 2, he can also, like, possess enemies and inanimate objects, and it makes Mario so versatile. Granted, not all of the captures are winners. Like, I was honestly excited to capture a letter M. But the captures that do function really well are so out there, yet it fits so well. Like, Mario turning into a T-Rex, so amazing because it's such a nice callback to Super Mario World when you first got Yoshi. It's like, wow, so this is what Yoshi would look like if this was a realistic Mario game. And New Donk City, of course, is just so beautiful, with like the graphics being really nice and Jump Up Superstar being such a celebratory piece. Such a celebratory piece that on my channel, I did that for a subscriber celebration video. I love the music of Super Mario Odyssey. I don't like all of the music, but I do think most of it is really well. It's very tonally appropriate, too. Like, I understand that an orchestral soundtrack like Super Mario Galaxy isn't for everyone, so what Mario Odyssey did instead was they saved the orchestra for when it was needed, and played a different style of music to adjust to the different kingdoms. So like Fossil Falls was obviously orchestral, because they wanted to capture the majesty of the waterfalls. Then New Donk City was more of jazzy big band. Luncheon Kingdom used real kitchen utensils to play the music, further the feel of being food themed. Has an amazing post game that I'm still surprised Peggle didn't even hint at. My gosh, for someone who talks about nostalgia so much, I'm surprised you didn't talk about that post game.
I thought it'd be like kind of like spoilers, so I thought I'd keep my mouth shut about it.
Well, I'm not gonna talk about it, but you could have at least mentioned, like, oh my gosh, the post game is so nostalgic. Wait, that's an American thing to say. You don't say oh my gosh in Australia, you say far worse things.
Oh yes, indeed.
Well, audience, we hope that you really enjoyed our bickering about which Mario games are actually good. I know I sounded like I was a total grouch, but in actuality, most of it was just in jest. Like, I don't actually think Peggle's an idiot. I don't actually think Peggle's a grouchy, nostalgia-obsessed idiot. I just think that she was born at a different time, and so when you're born and something is new, versus when you go into something later, it tends to shift your perspective because you don't have the newness amazement factor. And I think that's probably why Eggle wasn't blown away by Paper Mario, was because she wasn't around during the hype. She wasn't able to appreciate when Mario Kart 8 was like a pre-release kiosk at GameStop. Like, that was a magical time when we first saw that. So I guess, like, for her, having Mario Kart 64 as number 1 would make sense, because if she was as mind blown by that as I was at Super Mario 64, then it makes sense based on the context of when she was born. Did I say that right?
Sure. I think so. I think that was good. But yes, well, that's our list. Wow, we've almost hit 3 hours of this. I just think we
might as well change it. You might want to change the title to, like, a stupidly long podcast with Paul. Maybe, like, a stupidly long podcast where Paul is a poopy head for all of his dumb opinions.
Oh goodness. I think we just fangirled / fanboyed over our favorite games just so much. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you haven't already, please go check out Paul's channel. What are you doing? Like, it's actually entertaining.
Channel's that good? Are you kidding me?
I
mean, okay, I do think the channel's okay. It's just, I think sometimes Peggle makes it out like it's better than it is.
But yes, I'm gonna end it here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. See yous!
Yep, have a good one, guys.